You remember a quiet moment from your childhood, perhaps a day when your chest felt heavy, or a tear threatened to fall, and you tucked it away quickly. Maybe someone frowned when you expressed sadness, or laughter turned your joy into something to be hushed. Perhaps no one said anything, yet the atmosphere spoke clearly. Feelings were to be managed quietly, privately, carefully. You learned early on to measure the weight of your own emotions before they were allowed into the world. You may notice it even now. The slight hesitation before speaking, the careful shaping of words so as not to reveal too much. A subtle tension in your body, as if your emotions are stored in small, controlled compartments. It is not that your feelings have disappeared, they are alive, persistent, sometimes insistent. But you have learned to regulate their expression, to anticipate reactions, to contain them in ways that feel safe. There is a rhythm to it. You move through spaces with awareness, watching how others respond, gauging which expressions are safe and which might unsettle someone else. You may have learned to smile even when your heart is heavy, to nod even when you disagree, to remain composed when inside, a storm quietly brewing. It is not performance. It is a learned survival skill, a pattern shaped by necessity. And though it feels natural now, there is an echo of tension beneath the surface, a trace of early vigilance that persists in subtle ways. You may feel it in your body first. A tightness in your shoulders, a contraction in your stomach, a subtle curl of your hands when you pause alone. These are the physical remnants of patterns established long ago. Your body remembers the times when showing emotion could feel risky, when softness or vulnerability invited discomfort, misunderstanding, or dismissal. These memories are quiet, not dramatic, but they shape the way you inhabit your own experience. It shows in your relationships as well. Perhaps you offer empathy and attention easily, yet your own feelings recede. You may notice that you rarely ask for the same acknowledgement or care, or that expressing your needs feels awkward or unsafe. You have learned to anticipate the emotional climate, to observe and adapt, to create harmony by hiding your internal states. This pattern is not a flaw. It is coherent, understandable, and deeply human. Sometimes it reveals itself in solitude. You may catch yourself folding emotions inward, noticing them privately, speaking softly to yourself rather than outward. Joy, sadness, fear, or longing may flow quietly within, unspoken, unseen. And in this quiet there is both protection and tension. You are safe from judgment, yet the habit of containment persists, reminding you that part of your experience has always been private, carefully managed. You might recognize it in thought patterns. You replay interactions, anticipate outcomes, and measure reactions. You may notice how quickly you adapt to the moods of others, or how readily you modulate your own expressions to maintain safety or comfort. These patterns have become second nature. They were necessary once, a way to navigate spaces that did not honor your emotions, and yet they remain with you now, quietly shaping the rhythm of your life. And there is subtle pain in this awareness. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is present. You notice the small weight of unspoken feelings, the gentle ache of a habit that once protected you but can now feel limiting. You may realize that this pattern of hiding has shaped not just your interactions, but your sense of self, the parts of you that you have kept carefully contained, even from yourself. Yet within this recognition, there is clarity. You begin to see that hiding your feelings was not a failure, not a fault, not a deficiency. It was adaptation, a strategy formed in response to circumstances that demanded caution, care, and foresight. It reflects intelligence, resilience, and subtle emotional awareness. And awareness now gives you choice, the gentle knowledge that you can notice these patterns without being compelled to act, that you can observe your rhythms without judgment. You may find relief in small acknowledgments. Perhaps you pause to notice your breath, the rhythm of your chest, the rise and fall of your shoulders. Perhaps you allow a fleeting sadness or joy to linger, simply observed, simply known. These moments are not transformative in a grand sense, yet they offer grounding, a quiet recognition that your inner life, long managed with care, is valid and coherent. You might also notice subtle shifts in your attention to others. You may recognize when you have been unconsciously modulating your own expression, and choose for a moment to allow authenticity to emerge. Perhaps a slight pause before speaking, a deeper inhale, a softer tone. Awareness alone can create space for gentle honesty without forcing disclosure or creating vulnerability where it feels unsafe. Reflection becomes its own form of presence, its own quiet security. There is also the gentle recognition that your patterns can be observed without urgency. Emotions need not be pushed, forced, or resolved immediately. They can be acknowledged softly, experienced in layers, and allowed to coexist with external demands. You may notice the relief that comes from observing your own inner world with patience and gentleness. Awareness is protective, reflection is grounding, and observation is validating. And with this awareness comes the opportunity for subtle insight. You may see how hiding your feelings has influenced relationships, decisions, and self-perception. You may notice how attentiveness, caution, and quiet self-regulation have shaped your choices. Recognition does not demand change. It does not insist on disclosure or action. It simply allows you to understand, to see the patterns, their origin, and their persistence without judgment. You may find grounding in your body. You may notice a relaxed posture, a softer breath, the gentle weight of your hands resting naturally. You may allow emotions to ripple subtly within, without forcing them outward, without pushing them away. Observation itself becomes a subtle practice of care, noticing your rhythms, acknowledging your internal landscape, and offering quiet companionship to yourself. Sometimes this awareness creates soft hope, not dramatic, not sweeping, but quiet, intimate, and steady. You may allow yourself to inhabit your feelings without fear, to notice patterns without pressure, and to acknowledge that your early strategies, once protective, can now coexist with conscious attention. There is calm in recognition, clarity in reflection, and subtle reassurance in gentle presence. You may notice small opportunities for self-expression that feel safe and manageable. Perhaps a smile lingers longer, a sigh releases tension, a tear is allowed to fall privately. These moments are quiet yet meaningful. They do not erase the past or demand transformation, but they affirm that your inner life is yours to witness, respect, and hold tenderly. Awareness gives choice. Reflection offers perspective. Recognition itself provides subtle comfort. And if you return to this space repeatedly, you may notice subtle shifts. Patterns of containment may ease slightly, habitual vigilance may soften, and the habit of hiding may coexist with moments of openness. You may allow yourself to inhabit life with gentle observation, curiosity, and patience. Awareness does not require you to change immediately. It simply provides clarity and presence. In the end, there is a quiet kind of reassurance. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are human, adaptive, and deeply aware. The strategies that shaped your early life, the careful hiding, the quiet vigilance, were coherent responses to your circumstances. And now, with gentle attention, you may observe them, acknowledge them, and meet yourself with subtle compassion. There is hope here, soft and grounded. Awareness allows you to see your patterns clearly. Reflection allows you to inhabit them with patience. Recognition allows you to acknowledge the persistence of your inner life without judgment. Your feelings, once carefully hidden, are now met with gentle presence. You are safe, observed, and understood, at least by yourself. And that understanding provides a quiet, steady comfort that does not rely on anyone else's recognition.